How we doing, guys? So I figured I'd do a new segment on here while I'm just doing some chores. It's hot as heck out. You know, I rode this morning at 5 a.m. or I was out there at 5 a.m. and shoeing a horse, my sister's horse, and then riding to beat the heat. And then once the heat comes, I just hibernate, come inside. I wonder if you guys can see me. Should be able to. But anyway, I figured I'd do a new segment, like a story time, basically. Because they say that artists and stuff, when they relate to, and they kind of tell the people like some stories about themselves and stuff about themselves, helps them connect on another level. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, anyway, I figure, well, I gotta get this done before I go to work, so might as well just sit here and talk about it. You guys can watch me clean my saddle, and I'll talk about my story time. So, oops, sorry, baby girl. I got my dog and my sister dog, Callie. And if you're new here, my dog's name is Ego. Yeah, so I'm just cleaning my saddle. It's my saddle. I bought it in Texas 3 years ago, in northern Texas, Weatherford, that place called Teskey's. Shout out to Teskey's, not sponsored. Wish I was, though. But, yeah, so anyway, this story time, basically, I've always been in love with Montana. I used to work on a ranch when I was, how old was I? I was, I think, 9, 10. And then every summer, out in northwest Montana, a place called Libby, Montana, outside of Whitefish. Beautiful area. You ever go to visit Glacier National Park? Beautiful area. And one of some of my best years there. So anyway, this story happens, like almost 10 years earlier, when I moved to Bozeman, Montana. If you guys ever watch Yellowstone, the show, I mean, it's not filmed there, but that's where it's based out of. And I lived there for some odd years, 6 years, from 17 to 22, I think. And till moving to Texas. But my first couple months there, I had a roommate. He was from Austin, Texas, and we went on a trail ride. And I've always been obviously big with horses. I took my horses out there and boarded them at a facility, and I was obviously infatuated. I went to Montana State University, but I was more interested in riding and doing that kind of stuff. So I always got out to the barn and ride and stuff. And we went for a trail ride, and my buddy from Austin, his name was Connor. People in Austin are real weird, and I'm sure he's not watching my videos, so I don't have to worry about it. But yeah, he was weird. Weird dude. Great student, though. And it's very artistic and strange, nerdy, I guess, out there for the most part. But anyway, good guy, I guess. I took him on a trail ride in Bozeman, and then I'm like, you know what? Let's go out to the park and go for a pack horse ride and go camping. And I think I'm like, that sounds fun. We should do that before winter comes. And that's the problem, before winter comes. And so this was like, we moved there and towards the end of August, when freshmen move in, and around this time of the year, actually. And then 2 months later, in October, before the park closes, because we were only 2-3 hours from the park, before the park closed, Yellowstone, the north entrance, we decided to, I decided to go on a pack horse ride, and not understanding. It's a park. I know it's a national park, but it's a park. So I figured everything's, mapped out, and it's got trails, and it's got maps to lead you to the campsites and that kind of stuff in the backcountry. And I was wrong. I mean, we did do like a video thing inside the park ranger office and stuff and what not to do, and you can't take anything, and not even like a twig. If they find you taking it, you're in trouble. Obviously can't hurt any animals, can't shoot any people or animals. Obviously, honestly, they care more about the animals than the people. I mean, you could probably shoot an Asian and get away with it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not racist, by the way. Did grow up in a racist family though. But there's just a lot of Asians there. You guys could tell that in the Yellowstone show if you guys watch that. But anyway, yeah, we went out there in October, and he's not much of a horse rider. He's more of just like a hiker type guy, and still an outdoor guy. And we got some camping equipment from the college, and we went out there and drove 3 hours, went to the ranger station, and we drove out to the back country eventually, saw some elk out front and stuff, and that's all you ever really see there is elk and bison. But anyway, getting to the meat and potatoes of this story, I was, I think, 18 at the time. I think it was 2017 actually. Just turned 18. Just legal adult. And in June I did, when I graduated. Or no, did I turn 17? No, I turned the year it's gonna be, so it was gonna be 2018, so I turned 18. And then what am I thinking? Oh, yeah. So we went out there, and it was starting to snow. It was pretty cold. I mean, it was, like I said, they closed the north entrance around that time, so it's starting to get colder out. And I had 2 horses back then. His name was Reuben. He was started by Buck Bremen, a horseman that worked with Robert Redford in the Horse Whisperer and Charlie Johansson in the early 90s. And he started that horse, and I bought that from their family, him from that family. And then a horse that I broke 10 years prior. That was really good. His name was Scout. Don't have them anymore. Sold them both years after. But anyway, we were out there in that backcountry road, and we rode out, and everything was fine going out there, but I realized that we couldn't find any trails. We saw a trail, but it was like a quad trail, and we couldn't find any signs or anything really. And so once we were riding out there, and I saw all these like big giant crosses in like huddled together, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what the heck is this? And like an idiot, I'm like, oh, is it Native American? Well, Native Americans didn't really, I mean, back then they're forced to believe in Christianity, but anyway, it was just fucking telephone poles. I was an idiot. But yeah, so did that. We couldn't find any trails to go to any campsite where we were supposed to go, so we were just like, you know what, it's getting dark, let's just camp off the side, because it was mountain here. We were in a pass, and then there was a little hill off to this side where a bunch of elk had like rubbed the trees and stuff. We were like, you know what, it's getting dark, snow is kind of blowing, let's just camp here. And so we get out there. We thought we would go out there and find the campsite, hang out, set up the thing, and then go fishing, hang out, and blah, blah, blah. It was like The Revenant. I was like, holy crap. So survival of the fittest, basically. And back then, I had really bad anxiety, so it was bad for me. And then, so we start to camp and take all the tack off the animals. It's both the horses. We had a lot of tack and stuff, food and stuff. Camping equipment. It was cold, so we had a lot of, heavy, thick stuff, clothing, and it was only like in the 30s. It was still cold, but not like you're gonna die from hypothermia. I mean, it depends on what you're doing. Oh shit. And then took all the tack off the horses, and I think I tied them up for a sec, but I didn't bring halters. I tied my horse up with Hackamore, which is just a rawhide nose band with just a leather strap around her. And we had this bison come into camp, and I grabbed my gun. I didn't shoot my gun, but my horse likes cows. He's fine with cows, but he's afraid of bison. Because there was one at the ranch that I keep them at, and he's just different. So he's just afraid of it. And so he slipped the Hackamore and took off. And I remember Connor trying to grab him, and he missed him, and he felt bad. But I'm like, you know what? He's gonna go. So I saw him run out to that field, look, because there's only two ways to go really. Look one way, look the other way, look back, and ran the way we came. And I don't know, we were like, where should we look for him? I'm like, you know what? It's getting dark. We gotta hunker down and worry about getting food and getting someplace to, someplace to sleep. So we hunkered down, and we felt bad. We were like, oh no. There was part of me like, I'm never gonna see that horse again. That was a horse I started since I was 10 years old, 10 years ago at the time. Over almost 20 years now, if that, probably almost 20. But yeah, so we had one horse that was afraid to be by himself, which I guess, which was great since we only have one horse now. Scout was kind of the leader. So we had to put horses in like a temporary fence, and since this one was afraid, I couldn't put him by himself, because what if he broke through, and then I wouldn't have the ability to, I wouldn't have any horses, which is obviously, for obvious reasons, a problem. And then, so we hunkered down, we made a little fire, we tied him up to a tree, we did everything we were supposed to, that we could to be, nice to the environment, but also survive. And then had roasted little hot dogs and stuff and ate a little bit. And then the next morning we woke up, and really there was no time to just enjoy it or be peaceful in wilderness. It was just like, okay, we got to try to get back now. We got to find this horse. We got to get back. And so we didn't eat anything in the morning. I sat, and really we didn't get much sleep, because we constantly would hear stuff, and I slept next to my lever action, my 4570, and I had like 8 layers of stuff on. And yeah, it was just a mess. But it's a good experience and a good story to tell now that it's over. It's been over for years. But yeah, so anyway, next morning I'm trying to pack everything onto Reuben. And I don't know, did I say his name? But yeah, that horse that we had with us was Reuben. And he's a big horse, you can carry it, but he's kind of skittish, so put everything on him, and then he got scared, and I didn't have it tight enough, and everything went under his belly and slipped under his belly, and I had to take it all off, and I couldn't get it undone because it's all weighing down on him. And I was like, you know what, I'm done. I was about to just lay down and die. And then a hiker went by. That's how close we were to the road, about 3 miles, I think. And he's from Pittsburgh, and he was talking to Connor. I didn't really see him, but he's like, yeah, I didn't know there was wild horses here. And we're like, there's not. We lost a horse last night. He goes, well, he's about a mile back that way. And I go, thank God, that's where we have to go. So we're just like, okay. So I put what I could on Reuben, and we got going. And back then I had bad anxiety. Snow's blowing, it's cold, and I'm like, you know what, I can't, all of a sudden I can't talk. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. And he pulls me off, I couldn't feel my limbs. He pulls me off the horse, and he's like, He's like, hey, you got to get moving around. And he's like, you got to get moving, walk around, blah, 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 you know. And then, and so I get moving and the blood starts flowing, and there you go, you know, I'm feeling good and calming down. And I had bad anxiety, so I would have anxiety attacks for obvious reasons for this situation. Didn't help. But then we come around this hill, and there's this big black thing in the field about, I don't know, probably 300 yards from us, or, you know, maybe 200, I don't know. I'm not good with distance, but out there in the field, because it was tiny. I remember it like it was last night, and it was my horse. I was like, oh no, is it a bear? No, it was my horse. And he just looks up and he sees me, and I was like, you know, fuck it, he's gonna follow us, because he's, you know, basically he knows me. I've started him, had him since he was 10 months old, and it's the only thing out there. So I was like, fuck it, he's gonna follow us. So he did. He followed us back home. I think I just kept walking the horse. Yeah, I kept walking Ruben, because I was too afraid about the anxiety stuff. So I kept walking. We finally get back to the truck. It snow's blowing. People are driving by, like, oh, look, cowboys and stuff. And yeah, we get back to the ranger station, and we're like, hey, is there any way someone can go out there? It's just 3 miles. Just go out there and get the rest of our stuff. And they're like, no, if you want it, you're gonna have to go out there and get it. So we're like, well, I almost died out there. I'm not going back for it. So, all right, see ya. And I left it. A week later, I get a call from the ranger station. They're like, yeah, we had one of our packing guys came across your stuff, and he wrote you some tickets. He said, yeah. Started getting these emails letters from the U.S. government saying Joseph Mund against the United States of America, since it's, you know, since it's federal land. And they had me for $500 for having a fire in non-designated area, $500 for sleeping in non-designated area, and then littering, $500 for littering, because I left behind, you know, the rest of my stuff because I couldn't pack it since my horse was gone. Yeah, and one of the trees had root, like it was dug around it because of the horse being tied to it all night. And then so basically what happened was in January, so that was in October, so then in January, so November, December, about 3 months later, since I lived in Bozeman, that was considered local. Since I was local, I had to go in front of a judge. And since I signed myself as the head honcho of the group, even though it was just me and Connor, they only wanted to see me, and only I was fined, and Connor wanted nothing to do with it, didn't help me at all, nothing. So, you know, you can see that our friendship didn't last very long, and we didn't fight about it, but it is what it is. Some people, fucking weirdos in Austin. So anyway, we just grabbing my polisher. We settled it. You know, I said I'm just a dumb college kid. Because some people go out there looking for gold and treasure and stuff, and obviously I wasn't. So I was like, hey, I'm just a college kid. Wanted to witness Yellowstone, heard a lot of great things and seen it before, but I kind of underestimated the terrain, and, you know, I wanted to be a part of going packing and enjoying the environment. And they were just like, okay, well, we'll bump it down to one fine, $500. I can't remember which one. Since I lost my horse and everything else, they were like, okay, we understand why you had to leave it behind and do all that stuff. So anyway, yeah, they're very strict in those federal lands. And thank gosh I didn't have to kill. I was about to kill that bison because it was coming into camp and slowly just making its way in. That's what scared off my horse. But everything turned out all right. I got my stuff back and had to go to court. And actually, I just paid, because back then my dad was helping me pay for everything because they wanted me to go to school. You know, when you go to school as a kid, and parents like, oh, we'll take care of everything. Just go to school. That's your job. And my parents didn't do what they said they were going to do. So I actually ended up paying it a couple months ago, or just last year, which was like 7 years since that happened. So at least I got it taken care of. Thought it was taken care of actually, but my dad just doesn't do what he says he's gonna do. And before you say, well, you're an adult, you gotta take care of your stuff. Back then, when another adult says they're gonna do something, they do it. And I thought it was taken care of. So, and my dad back then, he took care of my finances. You know, it's just how it was when I was 18. I wasn't taught how to properly manage finances. And honestly, I'm still having trouble. I'm just making money, but I'm terrible at managing it. So anyway, she's looking good now. You got to oil saddles and all this gear because it's all leather stuff. You know, it gets cracked and dry, and it's just made out of animal, so it has to you know, gets cracked and dried, and it needs to be moisturized, just like moisturizer in the face or whatever else. So looks good to me. So appreciate you guys watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the little story time. Probably do more of these, kind of trying to figure out different types of series I can put on the YouTube channel besides music. So appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.